Time Magazine put in an article that is very appropriate for the discussions that we're having right now. It says the dating wealth gap is getting wider. The dating wealth gap is getting wider. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. This is by Maisha Battle. Battle is a certified clinical sexologist and sex and dating coach, educator, and speaker. She is the author of This Is Supposed to Be Fun, How to Find Joy in Hooking Up, Settling Down, and Everything in Between. So that's the author. All right, it says, I don't expect someone to earn as much as I do. It's something I'm hearing more and more lately from my female clients. There are women from a wide range of racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds who are attorneys, physicians, economists, software engineers, and business owners. They understand that the dating pool they have access to may consist of more men who earn less than them. These clients usually have no issue being the breadwinner in a relationship, but having a relationship in which they are the financial providers flies in the face of a long history of gendered expectations when it comes to dating and finances. Dating in America right now includes navigating these realities, a challenging economy on the one hand, and outdated gender norms, particularly when it comes to who makes more in relationships on the other. We are at a crossroads where women can out earn their potential male partners, but men are oftentimes still expected to hold more financial power throughout their courtship, if not throughout their whole relationship. Coupled with a rising interest in traditional gender roles among younger daters, the dating wealth gap has felt wider and ever present. This then begs the ultimate question: will dating ever be economically fair? The problem is that our ideas about financial responsibility in dating need to be updated to account for our current economic demands. We can't keep using the same criteria for partnership that generations before did when the economic needs of a family could be met by one income. We need new standards and rules, ones that recognize the growing earning power of women and reflect the economic hardships so many daters face. The question of money bubbles up at every step of dating, from who pays for the first date to how to split the cost of a shared vacation. This tension can have real emotional consequences and impact how each person views the viability of a relationship. For instance, many female clients that I've spoken to have trouble finding partners who support their careers. Or if they seem to at first, the partner will have a change of heart when things get serious. Add to this relationship friction the external pressure to find an equal, which is often code for someone who earns about the same amount of money. Many daters find themselves walking a tightrope with nowhere to turn. Some women have also told me that their choice to date was criticized by their friends who believe they could do better than date someone who makes less than they do. Things get even more complicated when you consider the fact that a lot of my high earning female clients come from immigrant or lower income families themselves. Many women have to deal with the cultural expectation and sometimes familial pressure of finding a male partner who either matches their earning potential or exceeds it enough that they can have the role of financial provider in the relationship. It feels like an impossible bind, especially if making yourself open to more options by dating people of all income levels feels more limiting than expansive. While this is still the exception, the gender pay gap is very much still a problem in the US, with women earning on average 84% of what men earn. More women are entering into STEM careers and receive college degrees at a steadily higher rate than men. As a result, we're seeing more single women who are financially independent. So, where does that leave men who historically are the ones expected to provide for their partner and future family? Some are comfortable with the idea that they may share financial responsibilities equally with their partners. Others have found themselves taking on the role of stay at home dad or simply being okay with earning less. But a growing number of young men who lean more conservative are looking to other countries to play out the cultural role of breadwinner. It sounds like she's talking about the PP bros or the passport. Oh yeah, there is a growing interest in passport bro content. I didn't actually read this completely in advance. especially from lower earning men of color in the US. They're looking to cosplay because they don't have as much money. All right, it says that the idea is that men from Western countries can travel and date in other countries where the dollar goes farther and their citizenship status may be seen as an asset to potential partners. Another objective is to date women with more traditional ideas about gender roles and money. This desire to find partnership elsewhere is a product of the belief that men cannot fully express their masculinity in relationships with women who earn more money than they do or who aspire to anything beyond the home and motherhood. It's unclear how many men are actually engaging in passport bro behavior, but the popularity of the content on TikTok and YouTube, top accounts have 500,000 followers, speaks to the openness of traveling abroad and meeting a partner instead of evaluating why being the higher earner in the relationship is so important. Contrary to heterosexual young men, studies show that a majority of young women have experienced an ideological shift towards liberal politics. This means that on average, men and women are farther apart in their values. Women are okay with leaving gender roles in the past if it means having a partner that they can rely on emotionally. In the United States, each gender is contemplating solutions for how to have their ideal relationship. And for some, those solutions don't appear to include each other. Some American women, for instance, are contemplating lavender marriages in which they say I do to a platonic friend in order to share financial burdens and have a long-term companionship. Dating has always involved financial choices, and today's daters are faced with making these choices under increasingly polarizing, uncertain economic conditions. Gender roles have changed so much, but the fundamental way in which we think about what makes a good long term partner along with gender lines hasn't kept pace. It's no wonder why daters are considering unconventional solutions to the modern economic and loneliness crises. Unfortunately, we can't talk about dating and love without talking about money, class, and status. It's as tale as old as time. What we can do is consider why inequality along gender lines, where it is exclusively men who must be in charge financially, is so important. Because to have truly equal partnerships, we have to reconsider our relationship to money and power and how both can be shared. Now, I really do like her article. I think it is thorough. However, the fact that she talked about gender roles and didn't talk about how household chores and child rearing are impacted in all of this makes it incomplete. I do not believe that this is incomplete because she's talking about money, she's talking about inequality, but what is missing is that women of right now spend time outside working, and then they have to come into the home and also work. If we're going to talk about how finances are split up, we also have to talk about how the unpaid labor within the home is also split up, because that's something that does not get broached nearly enough. And as I talk to more and more women, as I share stories, as I read stories, as we look at these videos, that is one of the things that is impacting so many women. Women are getting tired. They're getting fed up to hear of doing all of these things. And that's why a lot of women are like not even wanting to deal with these people. They're not wanting to deal with men in a substantial way because they know that they're going to have to go to work and then they're going to have to come into the home, and it's not going to be fair at all because we're not talking about how household chores will be managed, how the children's lives will be managed, and how everything else is going to be broken up. So I'm sure she wanted to touch on this. She talked about gender roles, but she didn't dive deep enough into it for me. I do like that she brought in the passport bros and lavender marriages and how people are marrying platonically or whatever. But also, we gotta talk about the fact that some women just want to be single because they see that as that's an option that works for them as well. Anyways, let me know what you think about this one. Join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.